Welcome back to the PHF Podcast. My name is Michael Babcock, your host here. We are joined today by Jenny Szubielak. Oh my gosh, I pronounced it wrong. I've known you for how long? I've pronounced it right many times, but I got it wrong this time. Szubielak, right? Got it that time?
No, close.
Oh, gosh. Help me out
Szubielak, you ought to know by now. Szubielak. There's a lack of bees at the zoo.
I've said this so many times. I know last year when I went and talked to you for the Giving Tuesday promotions, I practiced it multiple times before and I had it down. I just was overconfident today. So anyways, we're here talking about Giving Tuesday. So Jennifer, thank you for joining today to talk about this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so we're here to basically Giving Tuesday, for those who don't know, is happens once a year. It's after we go through Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, those days where we go out and we shop, and we spend all this money. Kind of in ways our society, even you might say, has lost a little bit of what we're supposed to be doing during these holiday seasons is celebrating our community, getting together with those close to us. And Giving Tuesday helps bring people back. After a wonderful Thanksgiving, we go through all those shopping times. This helps us bring back to the holiday season, bring back that holiday spirit of helping our community out. And what we're doing at the Portage Health Foundation is matching up to $200,000 in community donations to our 18 nonprofits throughout our 4-county community, including Copper Country Senior Meals. That's where Jennifer works. Jennifer, I'm hoping you can tell us about what Copper Country Senior Meals is and what you guys do.
We are people use the term Meals on Wheels, and everybody recognizes that. We go into the homes in normal times and deliver a meal and a visit, just a real quick visit. How are you doing today? And a check-in with people that are isolated, homebound. And this is a way that they get one nutritional meal per day, completely balanced meal per day, nice and hot and a friendly smile.
I got to go on one of those deliveries last year, and your description of that is spot on. It's a really comforting thing, I think, for everybody involved. And I imagine this year, and we'll go into this a little bit later in the podcast, but this year it's even extra important to have this kind of service available. Let's start off with you here. Tell me about your first experience with Copper Country Senior Meals. How did you get involved?
I used to work downstate when I lived downstate with the meal program, and I came up here for the job opportunity of director for the senior meal program here, and that was in 2006 that I started up here. I was hired to direct the program here.
And so 2021 will be your 15th year with the organization.
Then? Yes. Good math.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very smart like that. For those who are not watching the video, I'm shaking my head. Also, for those of you who have been watching a lot of these videos with our podcast series, especially around Giving Tuesday, you'll notice this one we don't have video. Jennifer didn't have a camera handy, so instead we're doing, her beautiful logo for her organization is there, and of course you can hear her. Which, if you wanted to hear all these podcasts, you can do that. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we share them on Anchor, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, iHeartMedia, wherever you end up listening to podcasts, you can do that. And after the Giving Tuesday series is over, we'll go on talking about other things that the Portage Health Foundation does. But of course, this Giving Tuesday, really important, matching up to $200,000 in donations, including donations to Copper Country Senior Meals. To do that, go to phfgive.org/givingtuesday. Click the donate button. Make sure you select Copper Country Senior Meals so that they get this donation. You can also mail us a check. That goes 400 Quincy Street in Hancock, Michigan. If you're going to mail a check, make sure it's postmarked by Giving Tuesday. We will be accepting those checks throughout the week after that, but as long as they're postmarked on Giving Tuesday or before, they will be eligible for the match. So, Jennifer, 15 years soon with the organization. Tell me what keeps you going there. That's a long time to work at one organization. What's kept you motivated? What's kept you inspired to keep showing up year after year?
It is so impactful for our community of elders. Like you said, you come out on just one run, and it just warms your heart. You just know it's so important. That's all I need.
I love it. It's not complicated, but also it's extremely emotional. Going out on those those drives and seeing all those people every year. I'll kind of give you this success story. That's the next question I'll ask, is talking about one specific success story. And I'd love for you to think back through some of these moments you've had and try to think of one of the best ones, one of the ones that's really been the most impactful to you or others at your organization.
Oh, someone just expressing that if it weren't for them getting a meal every day, they would have to go into a nursing home, and they just want to stay home as long as they can. That is just so important. Just somebody seeing them, and then even though it is sad, but the driver coming to the door and someone is on the floor, and we get somebody there right away if they need to be taken to the hospital. But if they did not have that person coming in, they could have laid there until they expired or, were in really rough shape. So it's that just contact just to check in. And that has happened multiple times. It's just so important. Just that person coming and saying, "Are you okay?" Or actually being able to visibly see that something is not right, because you see them all the time. That just doesn't look right, and being able to contact a family member and say, there might be something going on. You might want to have somebody come and check. So that's happened multiple times.
Yeah, and oftentimes people think about you guys and they all they're really thinking about is the food, and that's the biggest reason why people call and enlist in your services. But it's a lot more than that. Having this, what I guess when you think about what that is, what kind of things do you tell families on when they start to show interest in this, and why they should sign up for this?
That it's going to be eyes on, or even now we still see them through a door window, or hear them answer on the other side of the door. They still have to respond. We're still checking in, and that is a comfort for families that don't live in the area. They're concerned, and maybe no family member lives in the area, and they have that great comfort that somebody is checking in almost every day. They're just the weekends that we don't, but they have that. It's an added, just a security for them.
Yeah, and I'd love to go through a few of the logistics involved in senior meals. How does one find out if they're eligible, or how would somebody sign up themselves or somebody else that they know to be on your list?
Well, for home delivered, it's 60 and over, and not driving at all or driving very little, because some folks will not give up their driver's license, even though maybe they shouldn't be driving. And we know they shouldn't be driving, and so that keeps them at home. They don't have to go out and go to the grocery store. So they can be driving, but maybe very little, or they just get themselves to the doctor. In our area of service, we go all the way out to Chassel on one side, Painesdale, Tri-Mountain on the other side, all the way north to Fulton location. So we've got quite a range of delivery area, but somebody that lives farther out of that, we have frozens available. So we'll pack up 5 days or 7 days worth of frozens and get it to them. And that all they have to do is call, give us their information, and we'll get them on the program.
Excellent. So
One way or another, they'll get a meal.
Is there
Pardon?
a fee to be on it?
There is a suggested donation. It is not a cost, it's a suggested donation. It's $4 per meal, but if somebody cannot afford that, that is okay. We don't turn anyone away due to economic stress.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's one of the things that this Giving Tuesday donation will go to, is helping those people who might not be able to afford the $4 donation to get their meals.
Absolutely.
And you guys have been a part of this Giving Tuesday since the beginning here. Tell me about what these funds have meant for you guys to receive them every year.
Oh, we have been able to get a freezer. we have been able to get coolers. Yeah, it's been very helpful, because equipment breaks down and we just don't have a whole lot of funds to say, oh, just get a new one. And those coolers take a beating in and out of cars. And yeah, we've got coolers that are like 20, 25 years old that have no lid anymore. The hinges are snapped off. So yes, they're in service every day. So the equipment takes a beating. So that's been very helpful to be able to replace some of the equipment.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit about your operation too. Last year I got to go and visit your location in Hancock. It's on Water Street, correct?
Yes.
And so you guys also have a location up in Calumet, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we have a kitchen that we rent from the Calumet housing up there.
Okay, what kind of what do you guys do in those places? And tell me about especially the food, because I think one of the things that I was surprised by, and many others will be surprised by, is just the quality of the food that you are able to provide people.
Yes, we have two very good cooks that have been at it for a long time, and they've got it streamlined. So we do have a menu that is approved by the state dietitian, and so we are confident in our nutrition quality and what they're getting. And then we order for every week. Big truck comes into both kitchens, and out of each kitchen, we are serving about 150 people a day. And so they do an excellent job, and it's like one cook and one other person helping them get all of that out. It's amazing. They've got it really streamlined.
Yeah, and I think that's I mean, just that quality, the fact that it's at home cooked meals like this. When you're thinking about this organization and you're looking to make your donations, I hope you do consider checking the box for Cup and Crustini meals, because of the fact that they're providing this food for so many people in need, and not just the food. It's also that whole having somebody stop by, having a relationship of somebody that they can depend on, because this is really important stuff when it comes to the health of our community. We need everybody from their age birth all the way till they're in the triple digits, to have opportunities for healthy living, and this kind of program makes that entirely possible. Again, if you want to donate, phfgive.org/Giving Tuesday. And I also want to mention that if you are interested in supporting the nonprofits during Giving Tuesday, but aren't able at this moment to make a cash donation, but you do still want to help, and you need to eat that day, I'd love for you to join one of our restaurant partners. Right now, we have the 3 that are signed up: are Need to Cook, Teach to Taste, and Geno's in Hancock. All 3 of those places are going to be donating, I believe it's 10% of their sales that day to the different nonprofits. So on Giving Tuesday itself, get out there, support these local businesses. And if you know any other restaurants that would want to join in, make sure they go to phfgive.org/Giving Tuesday. There's information about how a restaurant can sign up. And it's just a great opportunity, one, to support our local restaurants who need that support. They've had a really tough year, and then also to support these nonprofits. And one of the reasons that these restaurants have had such a tough year is because of COVID. And I know Senior Meals has been drastically affected by this. I know when we were trying to schedule this podcast, you said that there's been more and more people signing up every day. And I'd love to hear you talk about what it's been like at Senior Meals since this started in March.
Well, one of our most important focuses is focuses.
I think it should be focused on. I like the way that sounds.
I like that too. It just seems correct.
Right.
So it's very important for us right off the get-go was to protect our seniors because they are so vulnerable. So right away we decided to change the way we deliver. We contacted all of the seniors, and they love their delivery people. They have such a good relationship. That's for so many the one person they see. So for them to not open that door has been a real difficult training, but they cannot open the door. They can wave through the window, they can blow kisses, they can leave little notes on the door, but they can't open the door. We put the meal in a bag and we hang it on the door and we knock, and the driver waits to hear a response or see them wave. We still have to know that they're okay, but they cannot open the door. There are a few cases where someone is not ambulatory and cannot come to the door, but they need to stay in the other room, and then the driver will come in, and our drivers wear gloves, they wear masks, they're very careful, and they'll set the meal on the table and then leave, and then the person can come into the room. So we're just trying so hard to keep them protected. So that's been a huge change in the way we operate. And the other big thing is part of our program is Congregate Sites. So we had 7 congregate sites where people that can still drive, they get together and they have lunch together every day, 5 days a week. And we had to close all of those because that's the terminology that you are not supposed to congregate. So we've been delivering to those people to their homes. So that's added for our drivers a lot more people every day. And yes, so we've got, oh my goodness, the phone's ringing every day with somebody that wants to just have their parent, they heard about us, or their parent is frightened to go to the store. Absolutely, they can still drive, but we will take care of them because that protects them. That keeps them from going and shopping and, getting out into the public. So we have been hopping with getting more people served, and we can. And we're very fortunate we are able to do that.
Yeah, and I imagine, all of that stuff you talked about is just going to cost more money than it would previously. What kind of things have you had on the other side with in terms of revenue to help you with your increased demand and services?
Well, a lot of the seniors do donate the $4 per meal, and it is very, very helpful. So that I greatly appreciate. They are, taking that responsibility on themselves. And a lot of them will say $20 a week. Well, that's nothing. It cost me more than that to go to the restaurant. And now they can't go to the restaurant, so they're putting that money into the meal program. So that's been very helpful.
Well, that's good to hear. I know that even when that with all of that, it might still not be enough on a day-to-day basis, or at least not enough to do some of the increases you guys want. So again, if you have the opportunity, please do consider supporting Copper Country Senior Meals with this. Again, phfgive.org/Giving Tuesday. Make your donation. We're matching up to $200,000 in donations this year. And Copper Country Senior Meals is as good as any of these that need that money, because it's been a really tough year on everybody. And the more we can help these nonprofits get through this year and get into next year in a stronger place financially, the better off they'll be, because a lot of these funding sources that they might depend on are, it's kind of an unknown for the future and what's going to be happening with them, with state budgets and that after such a tough year for everybody. So again, please make those donations. And Jennifer, my last question for you is, how can people, further support the work of Senior Meals and the people that you have there?
Oh, we could always use sub-drivers.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to
that.
really warm their heart.
How would somebody sign up to do that?
Well, they could call 483-1155, and we just have to do, of course, a background check and an application, and then we usually have a sub-driver learn 1 or 2 routes, and then when that driver is out, we can call on them to do the route. And we have got a couple of really good sub-drivers right now, but you just never know. We've got 6 routes that we need to have drivers for. And that is one thing, like you said, when you went on the route, it just made you feel so good. When a sub driver goes to train on the route, then it's like, oh, when can I drive? When can I do this? And that you just fall in love with these folks. It's just wonderful. And like I said, this is not a customer. These are our people. It's like family, and just seeing that they are so grateful to see that person bringing them a meal. Who wouldn't feel good doing that? It's so impactful. It's for both parties. It's wonderful. So yeah, we need sub drivers. We're pretty set on kitchen crew, but the driving positions, that would be helpful to have a few more people that we could call on. And luckily, all of our staff have been healthy through this whole thing. Everyone's being careful. I am so grateful. But who knows? We might need a couple more people to get out there and help us get the food out to our recipients.
Excellent. Where can people go to learn more? If they wanted to sign up for services, just learn more about the organization, how can people find out more about you?
We have a website, coppercountryseniormeals.org, and there are some really cool pictures on there of some of our past recipients. We have a Facebook page too, Copper Country Senior Meals.
Perfect. Well, be sure to follow both thth those. I want to thank you, Jennifer. Thank you and your entire staff for all the amazing work you guys do. And thank you for joining us here today on the PHF Podcast. We will see all of you guys next time.
Thank you, Michael. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.